Hello everyone, this is Jed Schlackman. I'm a holistic counselor and energy healer, and for this video I'd like to speak a little bit about physics. When people think of physics, they think of complicated math and people like Albert Einstein. Physics, however, is something that kind of looks at the roots of our reality, the very nature of energy and how it functions and operates, and how our universe, this material universe that we perceive, is actually created or generated. So, with that in mind, I'll first mention the nature of light. When we think of light, we're seeing light in our environment from the sun, from light bulbs. So light is everywhere around us, and we think of it often as a wave, right? So there are rays of light or waves of light. But scientists, physicists also look at light in a sense and see particles of light. So there are photons, and that's how light appears when you attempt to measure it with scientific instruments to observe it kind of frozen in time. It's been noted that there's a duality in a sense between the wave and the particle. So light exists both as the wave and the particle, depending upon whether or not there's an observer. So when it's not being observed, it's functioning as the wave, and as soon as there's the observer attempting to kind of capture and measure the light, it becomes a particle. And the idea is that not just light, but really all of our reality in this physical plane is functioning in that manner. That it exists kind of as a wave potential, and then when there's someone observing it, it appears to have some form of solid nature to it, where we give a description to it, where we define that that particle is part of our physical body, is part of a table, part of a chair, part of a tree, etc. So the realm of physical form or physical reality is perceived as particles, but only when it's observed. So if there's no observer, from the perspective of physics, of theoretical physics, it's still in its wave nature. It exists as a wave or field of potential and probability. It's not a defined, crystallized reality, we could say. So when we look at something physical, it's kind of an illusion. It appears to be solid. It appears to be in this time-space reality, but that only happens at that moment of the interaction with the observer. So without the observer, it's just the waveform, it's the potential, it's not a defined reality. This is something helpful to consider when we think about healing, since in the healing arts, people are often looking at something physical and trying to change it on a physical level, when there are actually other layers of reality, waveform reality, energy and consciousness, that are at the source of what we're perceiving that has crystallized on the physical level. So we actually have a great power to transform things if we work on that waveform level of reality, if we're able to make a shift in consciousness or frequency and vibration. So I hope that this brief allusion to physics has inspired you to consider some things that you might not have thought about before, and to see the potential that exists for transforming things at the waveform level of reality, which would lead to some shift in how things manifest on the physical plane. I'd like to wish each of you a wonderful day. Namaste.